I was like, bro, why do you label yourself as an incel? Open up the Bible, read the Bible, understand what God wants for you in this world. And that's why the center of all relationships in the world need to have Jesus Christ. Couple hours, put the phone down for a couple of days, stop scrolling. That for us to sit there and just bash women like, oh, there's no hope for her. So I got a DM from a kid and he told me, he says, hey man, I need help. You know, he said he had a porn problem. And in this message, it was a long message. I'm not going to expose everything he told me, but like, he was basically saying like that he's an incel. And he kind of titled himself an incel. And you know, I'm about to be 30, bro. Like, I don't understand this kind of incel culture. Like, a lot of this stuff is kind of new to me. But what I was like, bro, why do you label yourself as an incel? Like, why do you give yourself that label? And he was telling me all this stuff, and he's like, man, it's just, I have a porn problem. I have this, I don't get no women. Like, the way I look isn't the best. And I'm just like, bro, like, I think a lot of the stuff, the problems we have, especially when it comes to this new generation, is we're on the internet too much. Like, we sit there online and we digest so much shit that, yeah, I think we're online too much, bro. And we digest so much shit that we start to sort of psych ourselves out into saying that we're something that we're truly not, bro. You gotta understand, we're not meant to have this much information. When you're exposed to just so much on a daily basis and you're constantly scrolling all day and you're on Instagram, you're on Twitter, you're on TikTok, you're in these deep Discord chats and you're listening to a whole bunch of people trying to give you information about yourself when they don't even have the access or keys to life. You know, it is great that we have a bunch of 19, 20, 22, 23-year-old kids who are doing really well for themselves at a young age, but a lot of the things they're telling you are things that you kind of have to wait and get older to understand before you have any understanding of what they're telling you. And I'm trying to make that make sense, but like, this whole thing of you are labeling yourself as an incel is the reason you probably are an incel, bro. Like, you have to understand that a lot of the problems you have are problems that everybody faces. Me and you are the exact same person. The only difference between me and you is I just have different habits. Before I go to sleep, I keep my phone on the other side of the bed, and you keep your phone inside the bed, which causes you to watch porn before you go to sleep. You, instead of going to the gym, I go to the gym. The only difference between me, I go to the gym, you go in the refrigerator and snack all day to fulfill a void that you're trying to face when you're not even hungry. That's how you fulfill your boredom, through snacking, or through drinking, or through constantly scrolling. Like, scrolling all day and constantly interneting too much can literally ruin your life. It can ruin your personality. It can ruin who you are. It can give you a perception of the world that's not true. A lot of you guys don't understand the world. You understand the internet. You think that these people that are really just trying to make money off of you, they're trying to make money off of you by calling you an incel, by saying, oh, you gotta look a certain way, or you gotta feel a certain way, or you gotta be a certain way in order to be confident, or in order to have a certain a way of life that you think you can't have because you were just born genetically a certain way, which you don't have what it takes to actually become something that's successful in this world because of who you are genetically. What kind of message is that? Like, why would you want to listen to that message? That message doesn't do anything. That message, all that does is defeat you. It makes you hate the world. Stop listening to so many people. Stop listening to so many people who just get online and talk. I'm seeing this as a guy who gets online and talks. Open up the Bible, read the Bible, understand what God wants for you in this world, understand the plan that God had for you. The more you move towards the wisdom of man and the farther you move away from the Lord, the more depressed you will be. Depression is literally just a couple steps. It's a couple steps to get there. Anxiety is just a couple steps to get there. You ever thought about the reason that you feel like you're insecure in yourself is because of the sin that you keep committing in your life? If you take sin out of your life, it's so much easier to be confident because you believe in you. You're doing good for you. You're doing what's best for you. The interesting thing is your subconscious is taking notes of what you do for yourself on a daily basis. And your flesh is going to be doing things, and your flesh has a different priority than your subconscious. Your flesh wants you to watch porn. Your flesh wants you to give into your lust. Your flesh wants you to eat junk food. Your flesh wants you not to go to the gym. Your flesh wants you to drink all the time. Your flesh wants you to smoke weed. Your flesh wants to doom scroll. Your flesh wants to sleep in. Your flesh wants to be lazy. The crazy thing is when you give into all of those things of the flesh, your subconscious is constantly taking notes of all of those things. And when your subconscious is telling yourself, your conscious is telling your body, oh, he doesn't believe in himself. He doesn't like himself because he keeps giving into things that he knows is hurting him. Which is why you have so much anxiety, which is why you have depression, which is why when you look in the mirror, you don't feel yourself, which is why when you talk to a woman, you sound so insecure in yourself. When you digest a whole bunch of this red pill shit or black pill shit or whatever the case may be, what it causes you to do is it gives you this perception of women that's really not true. It makes you pedestalize them. And then when you pedestalize them, you then aren't able to actually have a conversation with them or have any sort of relationships with them. And in turn, you then start to hate them. And becoming one of the guys who hates women is never going to get you women. Stop digesting this stuff. Stop digesting this stuff. You have to understand, even if you like the girl or not, you have to understand, this is a daughter. This is one of God's children. We're all God's children. Whether she is a believer or not, your only goal is to make sure she comes to the Lord. And you can't make sure she comes to the Lord if you're constantly digesting things that are criticizing her. And this is not some pandery bullshit. This is really to help you in life. This is to help you get better and loving life more. I love people. I love going outside and interacting with people. I love helping people. I love bringing people to the Lord. I can't love bringing people to the Lord if I'm digesting a whole bunch of stuff on the internet that is causing me to hate the very person that I want to bring to the Lord. I can't hate on someone who's very successful if I want to be successful. I can't hate on women if I want to have a great relationship with God and a great relationship that represents the church and is marriage, and I meet a woman. I can't meet the woman that I love if I hate all women. That's just not how it's going to work. And the only reason you hate women, the reason is because you keep digesting a whole bunch of bullshit all day. Stop digesting all of this stuff into your brain. It is warping your brain. Has it, and I just want, and if you don't want to listen to me, I know you guys can call me pandery or whatever the case may be. You don't have to listen to me, but I want you to really analyze your life. Analyze your life. Has watching any of this shit ever made your life better? Has it ever made your relationships with women better? Has it ever got you to find a woman who truly loves you? No. Like, it's a lot of people on the internet who literally treat women like they're the Antichrist. I'm like, bro, treating women like they're the Antichrist isn't going to help anybody. We need each other. We have flaws on both sides. There's flaws between men and there's flaws between women. And that's why the center of all relationships in the world need to have Jesus Christ, because he's the only unflawed person ever. There's no man who knows more about women or more about girls than Jesus Christ himself. And the best way to learn about women is by reading the Bible. And when you read the Bible, you will learn exactly what it takes to find a loving girl. And it's going to be probably the exact opposite of what a lot of red pill people are telling you. You're never ever going to see me No matter how many clicks or views it gets, you'll never ever see me preach anything that preaches hate towards the opposite gender, that preaches hate towards women, because I don't want some young kid to sit there and watch my video and then he goes out and he says something to some women and I'm gonna feel guilty about that, because that's not the message I want to push. I want to push what Jesus Christ wants me to push, which is one man, one woman, and we wait to do things when we stay holy. And we bring as many people to the Lord as possible. There's no president that's going to save this world. There's no person, there's no party, there's no government. The only thing that can save this world is Christ. Christ is the only one who has the power to help all of us. So come to Christ, open the Bible, understand what he wants you to do. Understand what he needs you to do. And then do that. Become a man of God, most importantly. And a man of God is actually very difficult to be, because a man of God requires you to, one, be able to protect and provide for yourself and protect and provide for the family you love. And when you protect and provide for everybody you love, when you can protect and provide for everybody you love, a byproduct of that is happiness. And the beautiful thing about all this is when you have all of those things intact and you are comfortable with being able to protect everybody you love, it's so much easier for everybody to follow the Lord, because the one man they have in their life is the one that's leading everything. So it's much easier to lead people to the Lord when you lead them in everything else. Walk around with some stoicism, some poise. It's not difficult. I'm telling you, bro, put the phone down for a couple hours. Put the phone down for a couple of days. Stop scrolling. Stop getting into the gender war shit. Stop getting into this stuff. I posted one video a couple months ago. There's people on there sitting there still arguing, women and men arguing, all in my comments. When it was the whole reason I made that video was for us to come together and for us to understand each other. For people who are extremely lustful to understand why they're lustful, to have empathy for someone who is lustful and not judge that person. And when we have empathy for them, we understand where they're coming from. We can get them to have a relationship with Jesus Christ, and hopefully they will change their ways. I made that video to bring people together. I didn't make that for us to argue. I didn't make that for us to sit there and just bash women like, oh, there's no hope for her. There's no hope for her. Oh, she's gone. This is never something I will ever preach, bro. That's never something I will ever preach. Because if I can come back to the Lord as bad of a person I was, dog, I used to be an alcoholic, a drug addict. I used to smoke all the time. Do the most shit. I used to sleep with any woman possible. The things I used to do in my life, the checkered past I used to have. You know how selfish I would be to sit there and just write somebody off? You think you have the power to just write somebody off? Oh, because she's the opposite sex and she sleeps around a lot, you can just write her off? I'm not saying sleep with her. I'm not saying have a relationship with her. I actually advise against that. I'm just saying have empathy, understand what might have happened to her to make her be like this. And then let's help her understand why having a relationship with God is the only thing that's ever going to help her. It was never supposed to start this gender war propaganda BS that y'all buy into all day. All of this red pill garbage is what is causing y'all to hate the world. Put the phone down. Go outside. Stop judging the world off of the internet and judge the world based off of what you see on a daily basis. Bro, if you judge the world off of what you see on a daily basis, you'll realize that people are more together than they've ever been. You'll realize that there's no racism, really. There's no sexism, really. Everybody is more together than we have ever been. But we allow the internet to preach something to us that is not even true. The thing that is the most polarizing, the most controversial is going to get the most views. Which is why when you go on the internet, you're usually going to see something that is going to cause you to really hate the world. And the men that only go on the internet all day, every day, don't have any interactions outside, are usually men who hate themselves and hate the world and don't do anything productive for the world. So get off the internet, go make some relationships, go have some fun, have a social life. Stop being so socially awkward all the time. You're socially awkward because you're sitting on a phone for 24/7. You're not an incel. You're not an incel. You just don't go outside, bro. Go outside. Meet people. Make friends. Learn how to talk. Drop the porn. Drop the drinking. Drop the bad habits. It's not that difficult. I'm gonna leave it there. Like, subscribe, and thank you for watching.